This is the bill that recognizes a tax assessor for a property assessment in court as a trained, licensed assessor. The purpose of that is that the assessor can put or be considered an appraiser for the purposes of testifying on justifying his own assessment as a previously working assessor. Some people think that's a conflict of interest. Some people think that there should be an independent assessment or an appraisal done to justify that assessment. Otherwise, it gives an advantage to the county when it comes to any type of settlement that may be tried to be attempted in the court of law. I see that Commissioner Ward Inus put out a memo. This was placed on our desks. Mr. President, I don't know where this came from. Usually senators are expected to sign a document that gets passed out on the Senate floor. But be that as it may be, I disagree with Commissioner Ward Inus. I believe that by giving the authority of an assessor to have equal standing as an appraiser in court for his own work is a conflict of interest. In the event there's a challenge, a county doesn't have to agree to settle anything because there's no money out of their pocket, there's no tension involved, so they can just sit it out. Meanwhile, the taxpayer has to hire an attorney, he has to hire an appraiser to do an appraisal on the property to question the assessment value, and after that expense, the county can still just sit and wait the taxpayer out. I don't think that's fair, and I believe that's a misguided policy that the state of Minnesota has had since 1993. According to the memo by Ward Inus, he makes reference to the legislative intent and that this is simply a piece of legislation re-establishing legislative intent from 1993. Folks, that's 17 years ago. Are we going to, there's a lot of things that change in Minnesota law, and certainly the circumstances that have justified that law in 17 years. I simply believe this is an overreach on the power of the state, at least in the capacity of a tax assessor and the appraiser status that we will now be giving it once again. I hope you would vote on behalf of the taxpayers and have a little balance if there was if any taxpayer dared to question the power of an assessor, and vote no.